racing at Cheltenham on Saturday, a terrific card throughout, and we already had a look a few moments ago at the Paddy Power Gold Cup. And just on Twitter a couple of minutes ago, David Pipe, trainer of the favourite for the Paddy Power Gold Cup, Grand Cru, has tweeted, Jerry Supple worked Grand Cru this morning and he went well. He says only 2 sleepless nights left, and I'm sure most of the connections with runners in the Paddy Power Gold Cup and other races for that matter will be having a few sleepless nights in the run-up to the 2012 Open meeting. Really looking forward to it. And the card on Saturday kicks off with the JCB Triumph Hurdle Trial, registered as the Prestbury Juvenile Hurdle Race. It's a Grade 2, and we can have a look at the field for that race, or the entries at this stage. McVicker for Alan King at Deauville's Date, Outback, Forsters Road, Far West, Vasco de Ronceret, Chabra Emperor, Shelford, Rogdap-Cease and Flashman, the 10 entered for the JCB Triumph Hurdle Trial. We're going to have a look at a few of the leading protagonists now with Stewart and Sam.
So the Triumph Hurdle Trial kicks us off the opening race on a Saturday. Several previous winners in the field already. You look back to some of the recent winners of the race. What do we have? Hinterland 12 months ago, Sam Winner a couple of years ago, enough to suggest that maybe something in the field ought to be vying for top honours as we get to the spring. There might be one or two in there, but would you be a little bit disappointed if something else doesn't come along in the next couple of months?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, McVicker, who we'll probably talk about, has won a couple already, and they've done extremely well with him. I mean, he's a very tough, durable individual who, you know, is going to probably take quite a high rank amongst the juveniles this year, and obviously comes from connections that do exceptionally well in this sphere. So no surprise really to see him be towards the fore of any early season markets for the Triumph Hurdle. There's a lot of water to go under the bridge, though, isn't it, before we start talking about Cheltenham anti-post markets? But it seems to be earlier and earlier this time. You know, horses only got to go and win a juvenile hurdle, and they're 12-1 for the Triumph. But you know, he's going to face some stiff opposition. We're seeing the win at Kempton. He's since gone in at very short odds. Was it Huntingdon? Subsequently. And he did it very gamely, very, you know, as I say, a very durable, resilient type of horse, you know, hard as nails. But you'd think there'd be one or two classier horses waiting in the wings, not least from Barbary Castle probably, as well as you know, Nichols, Henderson et al.
Yeah, now Nichols and Henderson may well both have runners in this race on Saturday, with Far West and with Henderson Vasco de Ronceret, who was the Hereford winner.
Yeah, I mean, didn't beat a great deal and was very thin odds to do it, but absolutely routed his field. And the fact that he's shipped up and is in the entries for this race suggests that he's one of the better earlier season horses that we're going to see come out of that yard in this sphere as well. I was quite impressed with Paul Nichols' charge at Chepstow Far West. I thought he jumped pretty well. Looked a big, strong, powerful individual as well. So, you know, he looked like jump a fence now, to be honest. So he'll be an interesting contender as well come Saturday.
You can, as far as the Triumph Hurdle market is concerned, you can see why bookmakers give out prices at this early stage in the season, because in the recent past, you know, we go back to Catchit. Well, Catchit had been on the go from early September, hadn't he, of his season. Countrywide Flame, last year's Triumph Hurdle winner, had been doing his juvenile hurdle winning in late summer at Cartmel. So there is just the chance that you might see the Triumph Hurdle winner very early in the season. Go back a couple of years and Grandaway got beaten in the Wensleydale Hurdle at Wetherby in late October.
Very true, yeah. And McVicker and Far West might well fit into that sort of criteria as well. And you know, didn't there used to be stats that you didn't see the Triumph Hurdle winner before January the 1st or something like that? But now,
all the Cheltenham stats
all
have been going out the window in recent years.
They go at one stage or another, don't they? But I think trainers now realise, well, I know they realise that, especially if you're chasing a title, you need to go and win these nice pots along the way. And with prize money being as it is, it's all very well laying one out for Cheltenham, but you need to then try and pick up 2 or 3 races to pay for the season along the way now. And I think that's the case with McVicker. They've cracked on with him. He's a ready horse. He's a hardy animal, and they're just looking to try and get 2 or 3 in the bin early on.
Do you think, to an extent as well, seeing more juvenile hurdlers out at the start of the season, that has become the product of the arrival of the Fred Winter? Because, you know, you can target a horse at the Triumph Hurdle. If he doesn't quite make it to that level, well, you've got to have had the requisite number of runs to get a handicap mark in the Fred Winter to start off with, and then you've got to achieve at a certain level to be sure of a run in the Fred Winter. Yeah,
very much so. I mean, it gives you 2 things to aim at, doesn't it? Two races to aim at. Perhaps not such a lottery as well. That it also brings an element of, shall we say, clever handling, training, and shrewd training.
Well, it's made the Triumph Hurdle a very different race, hasn't it? The Triumph
yeah.
Hurdle used to be a 30-runner race where a deal of luck was needed in running. I'm not saying you don't still need luck, but the field size tends to be that proportionately small.
Absolutely, it's like a little champion hurdle for 3-year-olds, isn't it? Effectively, you get 10 or 12 runners, or 14, 16 max. You always used to, like you say, you used to have 25, 30. It was absolute carnage, wasn't it? Some of the races. So, I can imagine that it does give these trainers a further opportunity come March and for some selective placing.
Okay, I'm just going to break off from our Triumph Hurdle trial chat and give you a chance to muse on it, because Peter Pritchard has wandered over, and he's kind of going to come and have a word with us on the back of his. Well, you're not forced to come, but it's always nice to chat to winning trainers, Peter.
Yeah, don't get very often chances, do we?
Well, to be fair, it has been a while for this fella, but travelled like a dream through the race today.
Yeah, he's still got a bit of ability. And in fact, I think he's still got a lot of ability, but obviously he won't probably get back to where he was when he went off top weight at Utoxeter. He won off 128.
Yes.
Good handicap. Finished 13 and a half lengths behind Big Bucks. There wasn't many in the race that could say that, was there?
It's not bad form, is it, really, if you look back deep.
But we've been plagued with a virus for a couple of seasons that really knocked the horses about. Consequently, the handicap marks lowered and gave him a chance to get back in the winners' enclosure. And I'm really thrilled for an 11-year-old to come back and win.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can go on, because he'll jump a fences. He beat Global Gordon at Warwick. He's got some serious good jumping form.
Yes, he has, hasn't
he? He's running over hurdles, so we can do either.
Okay.
I could run him tomorrow over fences and he'd jump round. He's a good jumper, but he's only a little horse. When he was carrying big weights,
a bit too much.
well, and things weren't going. When they're going well, they go, don't they?
Sure.
And the horses seem to be well at the moment, and we haven't got many.
What have you got, numbers-wise?
Half a dozen, but mainly from my brother and Woodlands and old faces that have been about for years. So that gives me a lot of pleasure to train that for my brother David. He owns half of it.
It must do, mustn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, you've had Woodlands Gen Power.
All those horses,
Years,
unfortunately, his back caused him not to get as far as he should have done.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, kissing vertebrae, kissing spine.
It's a shame with him, because
We got him back to win 2 or 3 little chases. When he was a very serious horse, very serious horse. But anyway, a winner's a winner, so I'm...
Certainly is. And assistance from the saddle from Nico de Boinville. How did you acquire his services?
Through Dave Roberts. If ever I want an amateur or a conditional, Dave always puts me right.
Yeah.
A little bit sad because Claire Hart should have ridden the horse. Claire's a cousin of my wife's,
Okay.
so she's family.
Yeah.
And Claire's a very good little rider, and I wanted to put her on it. And of course, she rang me back and said, I got a 1-day ban from Cheltenham.
Oh no.
And I said, it's a steering job, Claire. She said, oh, don't say that.
Next time, maybe.
Nick said it was a steering job. Right, he said I was always cantering, always going. And once it turned into a staying race, because they went quick early, didn't they?
Seemed to,
those sort of
well-strung
races,
out.
they always go a gallop, and he gets 3 well, so 2-5 on quick ground would be quick enough for him,
Okay. So what will you do? You'll mix and match chasing and hurdling, will you?
And take advantage of his handicap mark.
Yeah, okay.
81.
And is he the sort of horse who would take a run fairly quickly? He doesn't need a break between
Tough
races?
Tough as nails. It's just keeping him right. He also has a little bit of back trouble, and you have to tweak him now and then, and the chiropractor plays a big part in it.
So you wouldn't want the ground too quick for him, I guess, then?
Well, he's good on quick ground. I mean, Kate Harris beat him at Warwick on real fast ground fortnight before he won at Cheltenham. Weird Al beat him. Tony McCoy rode my horse to beat some favourite in the race that Jack Dore was riding at Warwick one day. Beat everything, and Weird Al came from... What's that? Weird Al? 33-1, first on a race course. Oh, Tony said a few words. I said he wasn't happy.
Tell you what, Peter, you're throwing all these names at us, Big Bucks and Weird Al and all these form lines, and suddenly 28-1 is looking a very big price in hindsight, isn't it?
It was a big price, yeah.
Well, it's great to see you in the winners' enclosure.
Thank you very much.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I hope we'll see this fella out
it's
again
not
soon.
too long, yeah.
Cheers, Peter. Well done. Peter Pritchard there. Success with Tis Free to Dream. Nice to chat to Peter, wasn't he? He's
absolutely,
had one or 2 half-decent horses over the years.
He has, and they often, had a bit of success around here, but Warwick was always the place where they seem to run, Woodlands Gem Power, naming a few old ones there.
Yeah, Overton Lads, that one of his?
Yeah, it's still going, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, just about.
He's a get-off and push ride, isn't he, these days?
He was hard to motivate again last week, wasn't he?
That's a bit difficult.
Yeah, one you'd want to ride, really,
No.
on a regular basis, unless you were looking for fitness.
He'll probably pop up at Toaster at some point in February. London, isn't it?
They might use him in a celebrity boot camp. That'd get them fit, wouldn't it?
Let's just go back to the Triumph Hurdle trial. Let's try and draw together some of the threads. Again, I'm not going to press you for a selection, because if nothing else, we don't know what's going to be declared for the race until tomorrow. So at this stage, we don't really know whether it's an up-to-scratch renewal of the race or not.
No, it's difficult. I don't think we'll know probably until it's been run. You know, I think it's difficult to try and forecast these things before you've actually seen them. You know, but we've only got 10 entries, haven't we, at the 48-hour stage? Whether they all make it or not, I don't know. I mean, McVicker obviously holds out back on that level of form. I was quite impressed with Dovel's Date at Musselburgh. I thought that was a good performance, and you know, he was a horse that was capable of decent speed figures on the flat, so he could be an interesting one. And it was Brady Buncher in there as well with Shabra Emperor, and you know, obviously anything that Nicky and Paul Nicholls runs, you know, Vasco de Vonseray or Far West, they're both, you know, very much respected. They both look classy individuals on their British debuts.